Welcome to your AFN Vicenza at the Movies, giving you a look at what's happening in the Vicenza community. I'm Sergeant Laura Martin. In this week's At the Movies, we'll take a walk for sexual assault, Vicenza Middle School students blind us with science, and we'll get a visit from NATO, and stop to remember Holocaust victims. What does being comfortable at work have to do with sexual assault awareness? Well, I'm going to slip into my jeans to tell you about Caserma Ederle's Denim Day. Members of the Vicenza military community strutted their stuff in blue jeans and teal for the second annual Denim Day walk to show their support for Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
So we had the awareness walk, and now we've ended, we're watching a short film and then having a discussion again about bystander intervention. What are the roles and that we have as friends, as family members, as community members, and even as strangers.
To some, wearing denim might seem like a strange way to raise awareness of sexual assault, but it's actually directly related to a 1992 case that started right here in Italy. That's when denim jeans became a symbol of the misconceptions surrounding sexual violence, like clothes being an excuse for rape. And it gave concerned citizens a way to make a statement and stand together in protest. Participants finished their walk at the Golden Lions Club, joining the Female to Female initiative and enjoying food, education, and a serious conversation about sexual assault awareness.
It means a lot. Just showing up and standing there together on the field and walking together, it's a show of our community and how we won't tolerate this and how we support those who have been affected by it. And so I just would like to, my gratitude and thanks that folks have turned out to show their support.
From Caserma Ederle, I'm Army Sergeant Laura Martin. With sexual assault prevention at the top of the Department of Defense's priorities, National Denim Day was a way for the community to reach out and show their support. With STEM careers being encouraged more, the Vicenza Middle School hosted a science fair to promote science inquiry. Specialist Richard Kiesinger goes to the school to see the experiments in action.
Students at the Vicenza Middle School applied science to everyday problems to come up with solutions.
Here we're doing our science projects where we research a problem that we have that's in the community, and we research a theoretical way to fix it. And then we formulate a hypothesis based on our research, and then we test that to get to our final conclusion.
The students designed many different experiments, from one about golf carts, McDonald's, and even the common internet connection.
I chose this topic because I really like computers and software and stuff like that, so I thought, what's something where I can check something that is a common problem in households, such as internet coverage. For mine, I use a parabolic reflector to reflect the signals from a modem to focus those into different parts of the house for farther internet coverage.
This science fair allowed the students to share their ideas with their peers and with the community. Specialist Richard Kiesinger, Vicenza, Italy.
This year's science fair featured more than 200 7th and 8th grade participants. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll get a visit from a senior leader.
So Outdoor Rec is hosting the Garland Challenge on 17 May. People are pretty pumped.
Hey, look at those guys.
Gosh, he's such a beast.
Stay alert, stay alive. I learned this lesson over 25 years ago as a private in basic training. As you can see, I wear a little different uniform now than I did back then. But what was true then is still true today. Americans remain a target to those who would seek to do us harm. And evildoers' greatest enemy also remains the same, the eyes and ears of those they seek to harm. Help your Caserma Ederle security professionals here by staying alert for suspicious activity. If you see something suspicious, say something immediately by calling iWatch at 634-7688. Stay alert, stay alive.
So after they get out of the lake, they're gonna hit the mud pit.
Hey guys, we're getting some complaints that people are too excited about this Gardaland challenge.
Is that Pamela?
Yeah.
Thanks, you're so nice. Oh my god, it's like the best day of my life. Sorry, thanks, bud. Yeah. It's so great to meet you finally. I'm your biggest fan.
Hi,
Thank you so much.
Welcome back. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization is made up of militaries from over 25 countries. Army Sergeant Matt Graham tells us about a visit from one of its senior leaders.
Recently, Lieutenant General Ben Hodges came to Vicenza, Italy, to visit with units and troops of the installation. Hodges is the commander for one of NATO's newest commands, LANDCOM.
Allied Land Command in Izmir, Turkey, is the single land command for all of NATO.
Out of the 28 countries that make up NATO, 27 of them have land forces, which General Hodges and his team work to coordinate their efforts. He came to Vicenza to visit with the commander of U.S. Army Africa to see what lessons the two recently formed commands could exchange.
But I've also been really impressed with the U.S. Army Africa organization, the leadership, the way they have developed relationships and capabilities with very small amount of resources, yet a continental reach. It's very impressive.
U.S. Army Africa is responsible for all U.S. Army operations on the continent of Africa, but having a staff of less than 600 can make it a challenging task.
Everybody across the Army knows that, this is the best example of how to implement one of the Chief of Staff of the Army's initiatives, the RAF, the Regionally Aligned Force.
The LANDCOM commander also made time during his visit to meet with the command team for the Sky Soldiers of the 173rd Airborne Brigade.
The deployment of the airborne companies is the most obvious immediate example of what being forward stationed gives the United States.
The senior officer talked with the leaders about the needs and challenges their unit is facing after an unscheduled training event was announced in 4 of the countries near Ukraine. Reporting for U.S. Army Africa, I'm Army Sergeant Matt Graham.
General Hodges also used his time in Italy to inform soldiers what a great broadening assignment working for the LANDCOM team could be. In our final story, the Vicenza military community came together for a ceremony remembering the lives lost during the Holocaust. Army Sergeant Ted Gabbert shows how much of an impact the Holocaust has on the world.
The Vicenza community gathered at the Post Chapel to remember the lives affected by the Holocaust. Local high school students took part in the ceremony by reading poems, Holocaust literature, and speaking about how it has affected their life.
We're all human, we're all people of this world, so to ignore the suffering of one group because you don't belong to it is selfish.
Music, poems, and formal writing are just a few ways people are able to connect with and understand the victims. The ceremony showed a short video about the events that took place. It encompassed the history of World War II and survivors of those tragic events. The traditional Hebrew prayer of mourning called the Kaddish was said for the victims and those lost during the Holocaust. From Vicenza, Italy, I'm Army Sergeant Ted Gabbert.
The Holocaust Remembrance Ceremony is one way to show the lives lost will be honored and not forgotten. Well, that does it for this week's AFN Vicenza at the Movies. To see these stories and more, check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/AFN Vicenza. I'm Sergeant Laura Martin. Thanks for watching and enjoy the show. Now please rise for the playing of the National Anthem.